Hey Aquarius, what's going on? We are here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have out is Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is giving the feeling like you're on your way somewhere doing something. Because it's the Knight of Swords, this can be characterized by you doing whatever this is quickly or wanting to take action immediately. The next card that we have is Seven of Swords. I want to clarify Seven of Swords to get more information. Okay, Seven of Swords is being clarified by Hermit and the World. This actually feels like you may initially want to take action on something, and you may want to like do it right now because this Knight of Swords kind of looks like it's you in a bit of a hurry. This can be something where like instead of thinking things through fully, this can be like immediately wanting to do something, but you can be like rushing through the process a bit. Seven of Swords being clarified by Hermit and the World. Like, what is the lesson of the Hermit and the World? Like, what does that mean? Especially as far as advice, because when we see Seven of Swords, this can be like you're neglecting maybe something that your intuition is telling you, or there may be something that you're not looking into or looking at. So what is being clarified by Seven of Swords? It is the Hermit, which is taking things into account, review, sort of being quiet and tuning in and listening, and then seeing what is exposed to you, seeing what is revealed to you. It feels too like at a time when maybe something is not making total sense to you, or maybe you're trying to figure something out, because I'm also seeing Seven of Cups here on the bottom of the deck, and this just feels like more of a time for you to reflect. So the way that I'm just seeing this as far as the imagery be working here, this Knight of Swords is feeling to me like you're in a rush to go somewhere. Like it looks like you're running to go and do something. Because we have the swords there, this can be like you're thinking something or trying to find something out, or immediately you want to blurt something out, you want to say something. But because the Seven of Swords is there, it feels like that's actually what's motivating this to be happening. So this can be like, this can be having like incorrect information and then gonna take action based off of this. This can be something that isn't being thought all the way through and then gonna go take action based off of this. So what this means too is that if you're checking in and you're feeling like you wanna take action, but there's some type of neglect of you self-evaluating, or there's some type of neglecting of you really tuning in and listening, it can be time when this is being advised. I really do get the overall feeling of like maybe having some type of false information, or like you're thinking something but it's not totally accurate, and then going to take action based off of that when like you don't have the full story there, or you don't have all of the information. It feels like something of that. Like Seven of Swords kind of feels like being like misinformed in some way, but this doesn't just have to be like somebody told you something that isn't true. This can be like you're thinking something and you haven't reflected long enough and it's not totally accurate, and then you're going to take action based off of it when you don't maybe have the whole story here. Because Seven of Swords can be like not everything has been revealed, not everything has been exposed, and for you to take action based off of that, it feels like it's coming from a place of not thinking things through. And there can be misconceptions that are here too with Seven of Swords. That's why like having Seven of Swords be clarified by Hermit, it's kind of like You can see Seven of Swords as something that we're not doing, that maybe it would be actually good for us to be doing, something that you can be ducking a little bit here. And having the Hermit be there, it's like the quality, how this can help the situation that you're in. If only there would be reflection, if only there would be some waiting, if only there would be some tuning in, if only there would be some quieting. And this can also mean too that, like, maybe this isn't just like you have some information that's incorrect and you're going to take action off of it. This can be, I'm not taking time to reflect in general, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm going over here and I'm going over there, but it's like all of this stuff that's being done, and it feels like in avoidance of some type of self-reflection that can be being done. So you can be like going over there, you're going to say this, you're going to say that. I see like a lot of different ways that this can happen, where like maybe you're in a situation and you say something without really thinking about it. Or maybe you're keeping yourself distracted and not really taking the time to reflect and tune in. Maybe there's something going on in the environment and you're moving around in some external way where there's still that sort of like running away from the internal reflection. And maybe there can also be getting more familiar with the composition of the thoughts that you're connecting with too. That can also be part of this as well. Because this can mean too, like taking action, but like you don't fully understand or know why you're doing it. And it feels like some type of lesson in self-reflection, if you want to call it that. I'm seeing Seven of Pentacles. I'm seeing Ace of Swords. This feels like coming to a very important realization about something that you have going on right now. Maybe before you were being like steered in a certain direction where you could have even been like running away from something. The funny thing about this is that running away from the Seven of Swords feels like on a surface level, the Seven of Swords can be like something that we want to avoid, but when you sort of turn around and face it and you look at it, it sort of dissolves the Seven of Swords because you're not avoiding that anymore. So whatever this is that's been going on, I feel kind of like there's a turning around and facing this. I do feel like maybe some type of avoidance that could have been motivating the movement that you were making. But then over here having Seven of Pentacles and having Ace of Swords, it kind of leaves me feeling like maybe this is actually something that's being addressed. Because yeah, this could have been something that like wasn't helping. By you sort of running away from the Seven of Swords, I'm wondering if this like wasn't helping a cause that you have going on currently, and maybe this like wasn't bringing you closer to what you needed to see and feeling like you had pierced through something here. And it could have even been doing something where there was maybe an avoidance of contributing in a more helpful way to this. Let's see, how does this impact that? I actually feel like this was keeping you away from something that you wanted. I'm seeing the Empress, but then Seven of Wands is there, and then Nine of Cups is on the other side of it. And this feels like you being in a state to be able to secure what you want, but that Seven of Wands is sort of this like not letting things in. I feel like a barrier that was actually created, a barrier that was being created between you and what you want. And this can come from a place of defensiveness and you even protecting an aspect of yourself. Like I'm getting you this feeling of like protecting your Venus energy, but when you put a wall around that, it doesn't allow you to like call in what you want, and it can actually like be keeping you disconnected from what you want to connect with. So that's what was happening with this. And this feels like something that you currently have going on. I feel like this could have been being seen as like some type of like maybe even protective measure that was being taken. Because of being scared of the unknown. Like there being some type of fear motivation that was connected with this. But then it wasn't allowing something that you wanted. It was like blocking you from something that you wanted. Okay, now from what I'm seeing, this feels like the Knight of Swords and the Seven of Swords, this is something that was being done, but now it feels like there's a realization about this. So it feels like this is something that has now been understood. The way that I'm seeing Venus be connected with Seven of Wands can be I feel like in a way there was something that you were maybe like keeping contained and not expressing, and you could have seen that as being some type of protective measure that was being taken. At the same time though, it was like keeping out. You could have said like, I'm keeping out this, I'm keeping out that, and that's how I want it to be. But simultaneously it was keeping out your Nine of Cups, which would be something that you wanted. So it feels like it's not worth it to be doing that, and this can be something that's being realized, maybe like a way that you had been doing things, a way that you had been even like thinking before, but now it feels like breaking through that because we have the Ace of Swords here. It feels like some type of wall. Yeah, I'm seeing the Chariot too, so this shows things happening. There can also be a feeling of, when we have the Seven of Swords, there can be a, like, we want to take action with the Knight of Swords, but then Seven of Swords can kind of shift the way that that expresses itself in a way that doesn't, like, fully accomplish what we want it to accomplish. Knight of Swords and the Chariot is going to be connected with you taking action in a way that is concise and in a way that you're not holding yourself back anymore, and this is how you work through it. There can also be a need to be direct here because Knight of Swords is also direct. It's funny because like we also have the Chariot here too, and sometimes the energy of the Chariot, if it's being like channeled in a way that I don't want to like, I want to be mindful of the way that I'm labeling this. All of the energies have polarities, okay? So an energy like Cancer, for example, when we have something like the Seven of Swords involved, it can speak about a way that we're channeling an energy in like some type of shadow category, okay? Something where we haven't fully realized something yet. So if there was some type of struggle, having the Chariot be here, which is connected with Cancer, there can be a way of doing things that there can be an avoidance. There can be an indirect approach. But what I'm seeing here, that was being taken, but what I'm seeing here is that the direct approach is what's being suggested. Like, this is how to break through the barrier. And this can be something where, like, Knight of Swords is a part of you that you're going to take action in a direct, concise way while also being effective and allowing yourself to be motivated and allowing yourself to actually do something here. How I'm seeing Seven of Swords be connected with this, maybe this was something you were not doing before. Maybe there was some type of indirect way that you were doing things where there actually really needed to be a direct approach. But you could have felt really bogged down, Seven of Swords, Four of Cups, by just this process of having to work through all of the shadow stuff. Could have felt very tired. It kind of feels like mental gymnastics that you were moving through and then being like, now I don't have energy. And I wonder too if, like, for some of you this was like a lot of just like thinking and thinking and thinking but then not doing anything, which in a way kind of feels like the opposite message that was coming through initially. But I wonder if you had been taking action before, not based off of something that felt clear and direct. So you were taking action, but maybe not in a direct way. And that's actually what's been needed. So this can be where you see the breakthrough happening, because you could have also felt like it was deteriorating something that you currently had going on by not taking direct action. And I think too, this can be like overthinking, but I feel more like a stagnancy than anything. Like this can be like a fear mentality that you get into. This can be like overcomplicating things. It can be overthinking things and then not taking action. It feels like running around in the shadows of your mind, not in a place that feels like it's totally connected with accuracy and truth at all times, and then feeling very tired from running around there, and then there's not really a translation to direct action that was being taken. Because I feel in a way like Seven of Swords is maybe anything that you were doing where you weren't maybe like prioritizing what you actually wanted to be doing or like accomplishing here. Like anything that would be sort of deconstructing what you have going on, but maybe without realizing it at times, because we have Seven of Swords here. So this can be an energy that can be kind of difficult to pin down at times. It's like if in order to accomplish what you want to accomplish, you have to complete the tasks in basket A, but then there are also like basket B and C. It feels like Seven of Swords and Four of Cups is like getting really busy with basket B and C and like doing all of that stuff, and then like neglecting basket A, which is the one that's really going to be effective here within this situation. And then like tiring yourself out because something is being done, but it feels like the actual priority like wasn't being done. And then like not having any energy left to do that because energy was being spent, but it was not being spent on the thing that would be effective for the process. And like truly feeling a sense of like, I'm tired from doing this. Like there's going to be a real effect, a real impact of that on you. And then you can be like, no, now I don't have the energy to go do this. You could feel like very, just not having the energy. I don't even think that the motivation was gone. I just think that this is like not having the energy. Like feeling depleted. Seeing Cancer and I'm seeing Pisces here. And I'm seeing Virgo. I'm also seeing the moon on the bottom of the deck. Clarity comes through reflection. Then it feels like that liberates you to be taking action. I feel like you found something really important here, like something very important that's been realized. Something very important that you found, because as the Hermit, we are looking for something. We're trying to make sense of things. We're looking for answers. We're trying to tune in. There's something that we're trying to really to understand, to get a clear picture of. Having that Ace of Swords there feels like this is being accomplished now. This has to do with some process that you have currently going on within your life. That's like a current thing that is happening. And I think that a lot of this is bringing to light stuff that you may have not been totally aware of as you move through this. It feels like you have something going on right now. You have something that you've been putting your energy into. So it's currently active within your life. Having the moon here feels like there's still a lot of unexplored territory, but I feel like you were running away from that unexplored territory. Like in avoidance of that. But by going into that unexplored territory, it's like that's where you find the answer. It feels like you had to go into some space that was maybe like quite unfamiliar to you. And you could have been like, I don't want to go there, I don't want to go there, I don't want to go in there. Like, maybe you were even telling yourself you weren't interested in that and stepping into there. And it's like, that's where the answer has been all along. It's just been hidden behind the moon. And the moon is just that unknown that you need to step into. It was just waiting for you over there. And now I feel like this is really important because as I'm seeing you have a breakthrough now, you can see what was keeping you from that breakthrough all along. So now in this moment where you're gaining a sense of clarity, you can be learning more about yourself and how these processes work within you to say, look at what I was doing, look at what was keeping me from what I was really looking for. And really keeping me down, keeping me tired, keeping me exhausted, keeping me drained. Saying like, I don't want it. I don't want to go into there. Like, it feels like keeping your back turned to the moon when really the moon is where you're going to find what you're looking for. Because I feel too, like with this thing that you currently have going on, there was like a quest. Maybe seeing that like you hadn't discovered all there is, like there's so much more to be discovering, and in this sort of opening up to what that is, that again is where you find the answer, and what you can see is where you have been keeping yourself from going into that. I think like solely because it's something unfamiliar, unknown. But what you're gonna find in the unknown is more of yourself, and so this and more answers and whatnot, just stuff that you didn't have before. And this feels like working with your shadow, which is the part of you that is ignorant to certain things. And I think wants to sort of like keep that going on, because in a way Seven of Swords is kind of a protective measure that our egos can be taking. Meanwhile, it's keeping you like consciously sort of unaware of certain things, certain answers that you needed. So this does feel like quite a powerful breakthrough that's happening here, that it really just took you going for something here, but in a direct way, and going for what you actually needed to go for here, not taking action and doing other things and then being like nothing's working. It feels like you had to take action in a very direct way here to do something that I do feel like there had been a major avoidance of, but now it feels a lot easier maybe to like even talk about this. You know, sometimes when we're actively in the process of avoiding something and we still haven't had that breakthrough yet, it can be hard to call that out because sometimes we don't want to hear it yet. You know, you can get as much advice, and if you're still sort of running away, you can be like, I want different advice, like give me something else here. Then you get like mad at the tarot or like wherever you're getting your guidance from. This feels like one of those times where you've actually worked through this and now you're having the breakthrough, which also in retrospect allows you to see what had been keeping you from this in the first place. and how that works for you specifically. So next time you find yourself in a situation like this, you're like, I'm doing it again. And then you work through it. So I feel like this not only is really gives you the key to a current situation you're working on, it's also going to give you information in a cyclical type of way of when something like this repeats itself, you're going to know how to work through it. So pay attention as you're moving through this. Make sure that you're reviewing all of this and you're seeing what was keeping you from stepping into this and what was keeping you from the answer that you were looking for, this breakthrough that you've been looking for. This does feel very, very significant, this breakthrough that you're having, because it feels very much like something that is important, again, to a current process that you have, but you could have felt like your shadow was like keeping you away from that breakthrough that you needed. And I think too that the way that your shadow was working was like keeping you discouraged and maybe uninterested, like convincing you like not to go into some type of unknown territory. And doing like whatever it was doing to keep you sort of discouraging you from doing that. And keep you doing things out of a place of like avoidance. It kind of feels like the Seven of Swords reminds me of, you know, those dogs, shepherds, that they make the sheep go where they want it to go. I feel like your shadow was sort of like corralling you around here and being like, go here, go there, go here. And it was having you do stuff that like you were running around and it was like really keeping you exhausted, but there wasn't like a direct like puncturing in. Like this really reminds me of actually like a very Mars energy here, where you needed to pierce through something in order to like crack it open so that it could be available to you. And whatever was happening here had you taking indirect action. Because let's look at, who do we have here? We have Cancer here, and we have Pisces here, and we also have Virgo here. I feel ultimately like Virgo ends up being that answer for you of being ready to really face something and reflect on it and sort of being available in that space. We also like having Pisces and having Virgo next to one another. I wonder if something is going on with Pisces and Virgo where, because these signs are in like natural opposition to one another, I feel like something's going on. And we also have Cancer here. Something can be going on with the moon where there's a linking, where there's a connecting of these polarities. So something now can be realized. Why I'm calling out having Cancer here and having Pisces here because if you think about the shadow of Cancer, as I said before, this can be an avoidance of things. Like I'm doing everything except the direct thing that I actually need to be doing here. All the signs have shadows. And then Pisces, the shadow of Pisces is like avoidance, like running away. And when there's something that you need to directly explore, this can be like dismissing this, distracting yourself, going everywhere except the place that you need to be going in. And so having to work with that. And these energies, they work in a way that it comes up and is connected with feelings within you. So you working with these energies within you, it can be something that was keeping you in a space where you were like maybe sad about something, maybe down about something, maybe feeling like a lot less energetically motivated, but then kind of stuck in that space with this stuff looming over you. And now feels like finally something just makes a lot of sense. And I do feel like you taking direct action is a big part of this, where you're just doing something and getting something done now. And now you have the breakthrough. And it feels like what you see is where there had been an avoidance of you exploring something that was unknown territory. And it may have really been something that you didn't want to have to do, but that's like a necessary part of this process if you want to have this moment here where you feel like you're having this breakthrough. Because it could have also been really discouraging you. Whatever this is that you currently have going on, you could have really like not been feeling it lately. and it feels like it's connected with this. Like it feels like a stagnancy that's been connected with this. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I am sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.